everybody. Welcome to Stream of Card Consciousness. Thanks for being with us today. Happy Mother's Day weekend to all the moms. I know my partner up there on the other side of the screen, his mom and mother-in-law are great supporters of the hobby and what we do. So how you doing today, Greg?
Fantastic, man. I am ready to talk about stuff we're going to talk about, and
Yeah.
it's been a couple weeks. Had a great couple weeks, and I'm just ready to get back into some lively discussions. Let's go.
All right, LFG, let's go. So we're going to do our cards of the week, and then we're going to get into some of our least favorite card designs and sets of all time. So I'm going to do my cards of the week first. I just have a few. Chris Frank knows I'm an avid auto collector. Sent me this beautiful Boog Powell
Nice.
auto. That was from Chris Frank. I love it. He sent that to me. I can't thank him enough. He didn't have to do that, and I really appreciate it. Wayne Chan's becoming a regular. I got a nice 73 Aaron. It's a PSA 3, but I love it. It's
Outstanding.
great. It's sharp. Wayne Chan, his sales are amazing and great. I picked up a 68 Clemente last night, and a shocker because that's usually not one of my guys. And
I
then
was stunned.
yeah, we were both in there. It was a shocker, wasn't it? I
Yes,
sent you a
absolutely.
message and said, "Hey, I did a thing," and so then Brian Zalanko, I've been getting quite a few graded cards from him. I know Greg has too. But this one's a little bit different. Then this just falls into I love it, and it's not about value. And very rarely do I collect anything. But this is a 2011 top Steven Strasburg. I thought that was really cool.
Okay.
Um, I really like it. I love the rookie cup. I like that captures that. I mean, Strasburg will probably never live up to what was, thought he was going to be, but good pitcher. I like the card. And those were my cards of the week. So then
I,
off,
I
Greg, with
I sh-
yours.
I should know this, but is Strasburg even still pitching? Do you know?
Yeah, yeah,
Is
he's
it?
he's hurt again. I believe he's on the DL, and he'll be back here, be back there. Yeah, he's still same. And the thing with him, it's amazing. He's still with the same team too. So
Yeah.
he hasn't bounced around. He's
Well,
still
as much
there.
money as they paid him, I don't blame him for sticking with him. He's
Yeah, he gets
he's
something
gotten
out of him.
yeah,
But
exactly.
yeah, it's
So,
I like
well,
that
I've
card.
I've got a bunch, and I'm gonna whip through them. This is gonna be kind of the Dave Tamillo show, and
All right.
I got some really nice stuff from him over the last few days. He had a really good sale, so I'm gonna start. I think going after a 71 set, and it's gonna be a beater set. So we'll see how it goes. But um, got this Frank Robinson. I've always thought that was a
Very
cool
good.
card, semi-high number. $3. I mean, it was great price. A couple of Dolphins. Bob Greasy, Mercury Morris rookie. So those are always high on my list. And I sell a bunch of Dolphins cards just because I have so many, but I do PC them. So I appreciate those, Dave. And then I got this really cool Nolan Ryan credit card, 1981. So it's got the 81 Tops picture on it. You don't see these very often, but I jumped when I saw it because I know it's not super common. And then this is the first time I've ever owned this. And you got one a few months back, and I was super jealous. So, um, Robin Yount, yeah, it's it's
There it
it's a little
is.
it's a little loved. I mean, that's an understatement, but it was $10. So those are all from Dave, and that's the first time in my life, even passing through like ships in the night when you buy and sell something quickly. I've never owned a Robin Yount, so
Wow.
rookie. So yeah, that was weird.
Yeah, neither
Um,
have I. That was the
yeah,
first one for me too.
yeah, it's just kind of flown under the radar for some reason. So now I've got a Robin Yount that's probably worth about $3, and then a George Brett that I think has been hit with a steamroller and washed. So
Yeah, that one's pretty rough. Oh,
got
there you
that
go.
one. Yeah, this one was in another sale in a Facebook group. $15. I couldn't pass it up. And then Brian Zalanka sent me this as part of his slab package, this wonky Carlton Fisk, which I absolutely love. And I'm not really there's a group of guys that collect weird, miscut stuff like that. I'm not really in that boat, but this just kind of hit me. It's a great card. And then Last two, I got this in a different group, 1952 Johnny Pesky. So
Ooh,
Pesky's
Niels.
pole. Yeah, this is a cool card. You know, I did a little research after I got it on him, and he's not in the Hall of Fame.
Mm-mm.
His numbers probably support it, but and we can talk about this maybe at another time. Reading that book that we played the game book, it's amazing how many people got their careers cut short by the war. And I think that if they haven't already, they should probably do some kind of like saber research where they, do some kind of how your career might have been. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? I think that would be
Yeah.
really cool to see how many home runs Williams would have hit if he hadn't missed three
Oh,
and a half years.
astronomical. Yeah.
Yeah,
His
like
numbers would be
700 probably.
Bob
Pesky'd probably be a
Feller.
Hall of Fame.
uh,
So
Bob Feller's
that's my
another one.
yeah. Those are my cards of the week. Um,
Excellent.
yeah, a couple slabs, but I mean, it's just and you sent me a bunch of stuff too, Mark. But I don't want to just give you kudos every week. So, I
It's
appreciate
all good. I mean,
I appreciate the stuff you sent me too, man. The
yeah, it's
Schilling and the
personal, man. It's
Pedros.
personal stuff,
Yeah,
looking out. You do the same for me. So, yeah, we've been on a slab buying kick, me and Greg. Yeah, I don't know. We've just gotten into the slabs for some reason. It's been pretty wild. It's been a lot of plastic showing up at my house.
me too. Me
So,
too. I went from having and in the overall scheme of things, I think you and I are both we would be considered kind of small time. I mean, I've got 50 slabs, and now after the last 2 weeks or 2 months or whatever, I've got probably 80 slabs now. So I'm
yeah,
like
definitely.
rolling in plastic, and I know you are too. So it's been fun buying them, and the prices that we've been seeing on them, it's hard to
Hmm.
resist. So really, yeah, my slab's
Yeah.
gone up too.
And for me, what I PC and what I get, usually it's not like that high end or super rare cards. So I'm able to get graded cards, at a nice price because of just the people that I collect and what I collect. So it's really been a lot of fun. Like that Strasburg's an example. I don't know, like $7, $8 or something like that. But I really like it. And you collect the card. That's more. I like the picture and the background and so I mean, the player could be an absolute stiff, and if it's a cool shot, I'm probably gonna like it and get it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely, and I think that's really, when it boils down to it, I mean, these are not commodities. These are pieces of cardboard, and I think that, not to get too preachy here, but collect what you like, and you've shown me the way, I think, a lot as far as just really kind of thinking more than I used to, even when I got back into this, about individual cards and having to focus on a collection. And, if it's PSA fives that are $9, that can be part of my collection too. And you've
Mhm.
kind of shown me that, which I really appreciate. So, it's gotten me some really cool stuff that I've been able to enjoy,
Right on.
and I'm working on a Yaz SGC run. So if anybody sees a Yaz, I've got 4 or 5 of them, and I want to get all of them at some point. So that's my new project. What projects do you have, Mark? I mean, I picked you up an '86 Tiffany Andre Dawson this morning.
Oh, I'm gonna
So
weep. Oh, you get me
yeah, I don't
crying
know
here,
if
and for all of my friends and family, it's amazing. I love Andre. Yeah, from right now, I've been filling in. I kind of bounced back with Hank Aaron more. I mean, Hank Aaron's always been my number one. Luckily, I've been able to flip some things around and be able to get some really nice Hank Aaron's in the last few weeks that, otherwise might have been a little tough. So I've had some good sales, and I just turn around and get the Hank. So I've been back trying to fill some holes with the Hank. Probably, the mid 50s to the late 50s cards are a little bit out of my reach right now, but I got most of the cards from 61 until 76.
yeah,
So that's been good. Luke Easter, uh, that's full. I'd like to get a nice 53 Bowman color because mine's a little bit beat up. But that's just such a tough card to find in a reasonable price. And always Andre Dawson, any unique Andre Dawson cards I can get or find, and it's crazy. Like you find me all the time that I'm like, oh, I didn't see that. I didn't see this one. Didn't see that one.
yeah,
So it just basically general, and then also kind of getting more into like single vintage. You see lately that Campanella, the Clemente, the Hodges, cards I never really thought I would buy. So like you were just saying how switch has kind of flipped a little bit recently. So just more like single cards, in really cool place setting backdrops like that. Campanella's got a good backdrop, and the Hodges, he's in LA Coliseum, and it's really cool. So more singular. I'm not a set guy, so I don't have the
Yeah.
patience for it.
Well, and
So
it does seem like you have kind of gravitated a little bit more towards I won't say nicer stuff at all, but I mean just some different things and maybe some older things that you maybe
yeah,
not have thought about. And I've really started looking at the card backgrounds a lot myself
yeah.
because of things like that. 72 Wilhelm is a great example. It's got like all these old seats, and I wish I had it,
Mhm.
but I'm off on tangents today, man.
Well, that's all right. We just stream
I'm
a cards.
amped.
This is good. We stream a card consciousness. That's the
Yeah.
purpose of the show. We just letting it out there, and but like you're saying about nicer stuff, yeah, it's when I was younger, I was more. I'll be honest. That book, we played the game, is really what kind of lit my fire to get back to like the 50s and 60s and get these cards. And that book is sensational. I mean, I was just like,
Yeah.
hey, I mean, this is wild. Just the information and the stories, and that book is amazing. It's just an incredible book. So that's when I really started to think about um, you know, players from the 50s, 60s that I hadn't really thought of.
I agree. I agree. And I got maybe 15 pages into that book finally yesterday, and it really I can't wait to get done, doing what I'm doing today so I can read some more of it. It was amazing,
Yeah,
just
right
the
on.
war stories, and it was
Well, all
great.
right, we'll pick up the pace. So our next,
Yeah.
we're gonna get into the ugly. We got the good, the bad, the ugly. On our Facebook page, we had a little poll about what people would like to see on the show, and a person mentioned what cards, your cards and sets do we think are just really truly ugly and hideous. So I will lead with a few of what I think, and obviously everybody can point to the yellow fleer and the this and the that. So I'm gonna try. I tried to look outside the scope a little bit, as far as that goes. But and here's one example that I found that was just really ugly and just terrible, and it was supposed to be a mainstream issue. Is the 1993 Score Select? Now this, like, high end. Oh, Score Select, look at us. I mean, it's just whatever. I mean, really,
Yeah.
there's Tim Raines, there's a Dale Murphy for James Crawford. But it
In
just
a Phillies
Score
jersey.
Select. Like, why is that select? What's so great about that? So I found that to be extremely just, you know, yeah, whatever. And as an example, of how like a regular issue just from that time. So here's something that's not select, right? That's just a 92 Fleer. And then like this is select. This is like really different manufacturers, but what would you rather have? I'd rather have the 92 Fleer. It's 89 cents a pack then versus the $1.79 we're gonna pay for that garbage. So
Yeah.
I found that just terrible. And then obviously everybody, the Don Russ early 90s. I actually went with the green, the 91. Um
Yeah. Those are terrible.
Terrible. This is the update. They were green, the regulars were blue, right? So this is the
Blue.
yeah.
Yeah.
But the blue is coming off of the red ones from they were just terrible. But the 90, but the green things are just yuck, just terrible.
Yeah.
Especially after Donruss had so many great iconic sets from that, boom, 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 boom in the 80s. Then they put out this stuff that's terrible. And then just not necessarily everybody knows 88 tops is just but what's really the worst part about 88 tops is like the all-star cards. Like, really? That's the best you could do, tops? I mean, look at that thing. I mean, 80, that's like, eh,
Oh, Brian's
come
gonna
on,
be
man.
mad.
Well, I love Alan Trammell, but that card sucks. I mean, it's
Yeah.
just like, really? I'm supposed to get jazzed up about that? And again, the top all-star cards traditionally, like 83, 84, they're really cool. They're different. That sucks. And then 81 uh Flair is just a atrocity.
Yeah.
And more so for me, I don't like 81 Flair because of the photos are just all grainy and terrible and just, yeah, 81 Flair. But then as far as the vintage goes, I cannot do wood grain 62 tops and the 1955 Bowman. I do not have 1955 Bowman. I don't have any 1962 tops. And I do have people, I know I'm the quarter king and the junk wax guy, but I have a lot of vintage and I don't have any. I just can't do it. And I had been turned over to Greg because I believe he probably has some examples of 1962 tops and 55 Bowman. And people come at me, let me have it, but I just think they're awful.
Yeah, I some thoughts on what you said with your sets. 92 or 91 Donruss, I think is probably and definitely in my top five. I agree that the different colors and that stupid piping on the side, and they try to make it an error where there's like a factory set version and a regular
Right.
version, and one's worth more than the other. But when you print 5 million of each one, there's no worth there at all. So, and I'll get into some of the vintage with you. The 93 Score Select, that was after I was really collecting, so I don't really remember. I had a brief period in 93 where I bought a bunch of basketball cards because I worked at a 7-Eleven in college. But other than that, my collecting was done in 1990. And I missed the 91s, the 92s, the 93s. Probably to my benefit, I was able to save some money.
It's all
Um,
garbage.
yeah, and that's all I hear nowadays is how bad 91, 92, and 93 was really. As far as the vintage goes, and I'll get into mine. 81 Fleer is a little bit different for me. I was 11 when it came out, and I had moved from Tennessee back to St. Petersburg, Florida, back to Florida, and it's 81 Fleer was so new and so so cool because Topps isn't the only player in town anymore, and Donruss was terrible. Fleer filled with errors, but I thought that has a lot of nostalgia for me, so that probably would keep it off my list. But from an aesthetic and an intrinsic point of view, it's probably not a very good set. And I would agree with you that the pictures are fuzzy, but I think they actually took a step backwards with 82. With the
Agreed. They're
pictures.
even worse, the pictures.
Yeah, the photography did not get better. And then 88, the base 88 design to me really kind of I think it's aged pretty well, but the all-star cards are terrible. The production numbers are terrible. The rookie cards are terrible. Really not a lot to love about 88 other than some people may think the design's okay. But yeah, as far as just a set, the all-star cards are rough, but very good choices, man. And then 62, we'll get into that in a minute.
All right.
I kind of went more traditional, and I think a lot of I didn't see enough of the 91, 92, 93 really to make a good judgment call on different subsets or sets or the Score Select or whatever. But this is my worst, man. I can't. I thought about it and I thought about it. 91 or the Yellow Fleer 91. Photography is great. The
Oh, it's
photography,
sensational.
yeah, it's really good. I mean, the lines are clean. It's just that yellow. And this Donruss with this speckle and with the dots on the back. I mean, there's so many. The cards suck and I hate them. So that's my worst junk wax is this 91. Now Larry Walker had a great career, obviously Hall of Fame, but unfortunately for him, his rookies in the 1990 Donruss. So that's my junk wax junk. And then I agree with you on 62. 62 Topps just looks washed. The whole set is bland and boring, and the pictures look drab. They look it's never really done it for me. And 62 out of the sets in the 60s is by far, in my opinion, the worst one. So that's my number one vintage ugly set. And then this one here, it's my birth year, 1970. A good rookie, got Thurman Munson rookie in there, but again, it's a two-player card, which I really, I know why they did it back then, but I really wish they would have used his 71 as his rookie card. I mean, it's an iconic card. That set just doesn't do it for me. So 62 and 70. And then with the 55 Bowman, we all know what they look like, the TV set card. I don't have one handy, and other than getting up and going and grabbing one. But I agree with you. I think they're weird. And Bowman was trying to be different at the time, I think.
Mhm.
So, you know, that's not necessarily high on my list, but I do agree that it's not a great design. Um, you know, so that's really mine. I don't have a lot to expound on it. There's so many bad designs in the 90s. I think that you know, you really could pick any year and have a bad
Yeah,
design.
first Fleer Ultra. I mean, that was just terrible.
Yeah,
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 they
yeah,
people
absolutely.
ask, so it's just throw it out there. I really as far as because with vintage, I think it was Brian Zalaka was looking for our take on the vintage. I mean, it's all. I mean, to me, it's there's no real issues other than with that 55 Bowman, and more so just because of the Bowman's from 53 color, and then 2 years later, yeah, I know you're trying to get space age and television, but just the small that just detracts from it. And the
Yeah,
names are like tiny. And for now, here I got old guy eyes, and I'm trying to go like this and see everything. It's very
yeah,
difficult.
absolutely.
In the 62 almost has the problem that like the 78s have. They just look weathered, like you were saying. Just it's hard to see the corners, the edges. They just look wore out, off center. So
Mhm.
when you have a nice 62 that's really crisp, I guess I would say like a PSA 8 or 9, which is probably almost impossible. Yeah, they pop, but most of them are just for whatever reason, they just look they're coming apart and they're just not very
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, that's exactly right. It just looks worn out, kind of. You know, even the grainy pictures and you know, they have the green tint on some of them. It Topps seemed to kind of mail it in that year a little bit with the design and with the photography. And I think,
Right.
you know, talking about 55 Bowman, I think part of the issue with that was Bowman was really getting their lunch handed to him by or eaten by Topps.
Oh yeah.
And 55, you know, 53, 54 were simplistic. They were beautiful cards. 55 Bowman, the powers that be probably were like, okay, we got to do something because Topps is killing us. And it ended up being their last issue, I believe, 55 Bowman. And they were just trying to be so radical for the time that it kind of fell flat a little bit. And that, you know, the centering issues and just it seems like with the exception of 87, anytime they try to do a wood grain, it's kind of, in my opinion, fallen flat a little bit.
Yeah.
And
I love 87 tops. I
yeah,
love it.
yeah,
That's the one set that I put together. It was like year I
yeah,
graduated from high school and just had significance to me. And I put that together through all the tonnage I got tonnage coming today. So I was hoping would
nice.
come during the show. We could have had a little live unboxing of Mark with the tonnage. But yeah, so I put 87 tops together through all of the cards I get where I get them, all my tonnage, my 25, 30, 40 pounds of cards. So I completed that 87 tops. That's how I did it. I mean, took me a few months and I was able to get every card I needed through massive boxes of cards. It was
Right,
fun. It was
right.
fun. But that I couldn't try to do that with something else. I just wouldn't have that enjoyment level to say like try to put together like a 88 or
You
but
still
that
there?
87, I don't think I'm gonna try
Yeah,
to put that together. So
yeah. You glitched
it
there
was
for a
good.
second. Sorry about that, Mark.
Oh
Um,
yeah, no worries.
yeah, the set building for me, you know, here we go on another tangent, but stream of card
Stream.
consciousness. All right, we're streaming. Set building for me, you know, I've kind of made it where basically the line in the sand for me is 80 or older because you know I wasn't old enough to afford to buy enough packs from 1980. You know, I was 10 years old. I didn't have enough money to do that. You know, people like to put together 88 top set, I guess, but I mean, why would you do that?
Okay.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean? You know, first of all, you can buy it at the LCS for 10 bucks. You know,
yeah,
second, you know, I mean, it's just I enjoy the sets of you know, 61 was really fun to do. It was hard. Now I'm working on 64, and I know that's not something you like to do, but um, you know, for people that enjoy it, it's just a way to look back and buy cars that you could never afford when you're a kid, and that's what does it for me. Is just, oh, I can afford this now. So, you know, you got any shout outs this week, man?
yeah. Shout out to all the moms out there and the all of our moms. My mom, God bless her, still alive, still with us. You know, that's all the moms get the bad rap and the card collecting back in the day. Hey, mom threw out my baseball cards and all that stuff. Yeah, but you know what? Mom loved you. Mom made sure she took care of you, and so she threw your baseball cards away. Cut her some slack. I know I've told Greg personally, I'm always just really impressed and marvel at his mother and mother-in-law support of our show and what we do. And it's just really great. And, I see in our groups that we do have a pretty strong female presence. It's really amazing. And obviously I got 3 daughters and my wife are part of it too, but other people we don't know, there's quite a few women in there. And it's really awesome to see that. And for like example, my daughter is really into collecting Dark Crystal cards right now, that movie from the 80s. So she's,
Yeah.
but yeah, shout out to all the moms. Got a couple weeks of school left. We broke our record for class closures this week. 22 classes completed in my room this week. And it was Teacher Appreciation Week. Shout out to my boss. She was amazing, decorated the whole school up. I sent you some pictures, I think. And
That was great.
I walked into school Monday and I almost started crying. I was like, holy cow. I was like, wow. Even right now. So yeah, that's my shout out there, definitely. How about you?
Um, nothing that. I mean, happy Mother's Day. Obviously, my mother-in-law, my mom are both fantastic. We just had my mom here for a week up from Orlando, and she enjoyed herself, and it was really nice. We're getting ready to be down there quite a bit going forward. Daughter's moving down there to go to school, so be in your neck of the woods quite a bit
Live
the next couple of
shows.
years. Yeah, right. Hey, let's go. Let's find a place to go do it. We'll do it, man.
Yeah, we'll find a sports bar or something to do
Yeah.
it in.
Yeah, that would be cool, actually.
Yeah. I like
That's
it.
something to talk about. Some good sales. Dave Tomello, obviously. Richard Kavorka, thanks for suggesting the show topic. Um, it's 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 a challenge to find things to talk about every week that we haven't already talked about. Either in a chat or on the show. And keep the suggestions coming, you guys. And if you find what we're doing enjoyable, let people know that we're just here talking and telling about the group. And the group's been great. It's gotten some really good traction. And
Definitely.
Stream of Card Consciousness is the Facebook group. And other than that, Wayne Chan, he's rocking it like a rock star every week.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, I don't know what he's doing. Brian, thank you for the cool Fisk and the slabs. Other than that, I don't really have anything other than happy Mother's Day to all moms. And, they're the glue that keeps the family together, and I don't think they get enough credit sometimes. So, that's my shout outs for the week. So
that's about it then for us this week. I want to thank everybody. Seriously, this is a really good time. Me and Greg look forward to it again. All the moms, love you. Mrs. Ford, my mom, thank you. God bless. Stay safe. See you next time.
bye, y'all.